Hello, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to my channel. So as promised, every day we will be tackling simple questions with simple answers about life insurance. So today we will be discussing the difference between HMO. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng HMO? Health Maintenance Organization products, okay? And international private medical insurance products. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So, sino ba dito sa atin ang merong trabaho? Ayan, siguro marami ang merong trabaho. Okay? Why am I asking? It's because when you have a full-time job, usually one of the benefits is an HMO. Okay? When you get hospitalized, you don't have to worry anymore because you just have to present your card. Okay? And based on the limits of your card, you can already go inside the hospital and not worry about the expenses. Of course, based on the plan that you have, okay? Or your coverage. Ayan. So, what about an international medical insurance? Ito, masyado siyang uso ngayon, ano? So, there are insurance companies that already offer yung product, no? Na meron ka ring card, okay? So, that card is presented as well when you go to the hospital, no? Whether you want to be admitted or meron kang emergency. So, medyo may similarities sila. And the reason why we are going to talk about these two similar but different products, okay, is because a lot of people would be asking or wondering ano ba ang difference nila. Okay, so let's begin. So, number one, where can you buy an HMO plan? Okay? So, first and foremost, if you are working, meron ka ng HMO. So, hindi mo na kailangang kumuha ulit ng bagong HMO. Kasi yung availment nun usually has what we call a coordination. Ibig sabihin, if you are already claiming from one HMO, hindi ka na makaka-claim, no? If you got another HMO which you are paying for yourself, okay? So, sayang lang, okay? Kasi nagko-coordinate ang kanilang benefits, okay? So, if you're working and you have an HMO already, let's say, for example, your coverage is 500,000, okay? That's it already, okay? Hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng another HMO pa, okay? Ayan, so, that's one thing. So, but if you I don't have an HMO, okay, kasi wala ka namang employment, for example, that give you that benefit, pwede kang bumili ng HMO individually. Okay? So, what about an international medical insurance? An international medical insurance, you buy this from an insurance company. Okay? At gaya ng sinabi ko nga kanina, meron din po siyang card na gagamitin mo when you are in the hospital. Okay? For example, you're coming in for an emergency, or you're coming in because masama ang pakiramdam mo, no? And then magpapa-admit ka. And some of these cards as well would pay for consults. Okay? For outpatient consults. Okay? So, depende sa plano na kinuha mo. Okay. So, usually, an HMO is what you call a yearly renewable plan. Okay? So, every year, nire-renew siya. Okay? If that HMO is coming from your benefit as an employee, the HR of your company is already the one that is renewing your coverage. Okay? And usually, the insurance age for this or coverage for this, no, is a maximum of age 65. No? Or the maximum age also when you are working, no? Or just before you retire. Now, ang kaibahan nito sa international private medical insurance, okay, one of the many differences between the two is, si international private medical insurance, usually, pag bumili ka nito at na-accept ka despite yung mga sakit-sakit na dineclare mo, you can actually renew this also. It is yearly renewable and it is usually renewable up to age 99, long before or after you have already retired from your employment. Okay? So, yan. So, those are the first two differences. Okay, so for the HMO, you buy this from a health maintenance organization if you're going to buy individually, or it can be provided by your employer if you are working. Whereas an international private medical insurance, you can actually buy this from an insurance company. And the second is, for the HMO, usually the coverage is a maximum of age 65 and it is yearly renewable. For the international private medical insurance, usually the coverage is up to age 99. So, ibig sabihin, pwede mo siyang i-renew also up to age 99. Okay. So, as I've mentioned earlier, yung HMO, it provides a card, and yung International Private Medical Insurance also provides a card. So, ano ba yung gagawin mo sa card na yan? Usually, halimbawa, masakit ang tiyan mo, aray, ang sakit ng tiyan ko, hindi mo matiis, and then you went to a hospital. Okay, let us just say, for example, that hospital is an accredited hospital of an HMO card, which you have. They will attend to you, of course, and they will ask you, meron ka bang HMO? Meron ka bang insurance? Okay, so you will be able to use your card. You will just have to present your card. And the coordinator already, or the admin of that particular hospital, will already call up the people who are supposed to be called, na nakalagay naman sa likod ng card na yan. So similarly, when you talk about an international private medical insurance, you go into a hospital, and let us just say that hospital is also an accredited hospital. Okay, they do the same thing kapag halimbawa ay, let's just say, that the patient is unable to do that. But normally, okay, this is the big difference, per experience, usually if it's an international private medical insurance card, okay, ang kliyente ang tumatawag. Okay? Especially if it's a non-emergency. Okay? But in the HMO, when you go into the hospital, usually it's the hospital already who will do all the calling. Okay? So, but of course, there are changes in the international private medical insurance side, and they are also enhancing the claims experience of the client. Okay. So, what else? When you talk about HMO, usually PhilHealth dependent yan. Okay, what do I mean PhilHealth dependent? When a patient gets admitted, before he or she gets discharged from the hospital, at siya ay may PhilHealth, for example, kailangan niyang i-provide yung mga documentation for the PhilHealth. Or if you are in a hospital na meron naman silang online portal, meron silang access sa PhilHealth, you have to provide details of your PhilHealth for you to be able to use that HMO card. Okay? On the other hand, for the international private medical insurance, it is non-PhilHealth dependent. Ibig sabihin, you can claim even when you don't have PhilHealth. Okay? Ayan. Ito pa, another difference is, for the HMO, when you are being admitted to an accredited hospital, you will be able to use it. However, if that hospital is a non-accredited hospital, okay, you will have to pay out of pocket, So, ibig sabihin, either you pay out of pocket or lumipat ka to another hospital, that is listed as accredited under your HMO. Okay? Miss Teens, I have a question. Paano yun? The patient got admitted, pero for that particular specialization, wala namang accredited na doctor, Let's say, for example, let me just give you one specialization. Let us say, wala silang urologist, pediatric urologist. Okay? Will you pay out of pocket? Will you be able to reimburse it? Okay, the answer is if you have an HMO at wala naman talagang nakalista sa kanila na accredited na pediatric urologist, the answer is yes, you will be able to pay out of pocket first, okay? And then you just reimburse it. Okay? But let us just say, for example, na hindi mo type, yung doctor na binibigay ni HMO kasi may ibang doktor kang gusto. Okay? And they also have accredited doctors belonging to that specialization. Let's say, for example, OBGYN. Okay? So, if you prefer to get the services of your own doctor, your own OBGYN, okay, let's say you have an admission, okay, you will not be able to use your HMO. Okay, bakit? Because the HMO operates in that manner. So, kung sino yung accredited nila, okay, you will have to use the services of that doctor. Okay? Paano yan, Miss Teens? Can I use the services of another doctor and then let the HMO just pay for the room and board? Hindi din nila pinapayagan yan. So, sa HMO, dapat accredited nila yung doctor at yung hospital. Okay. So, with international private medical insurance, actually, if you get admitted to a hospital which is accredited, okay, the doctors there that are affiliated in that hospital, no, will also be paid by that HMO. That International Private Medical Insurance. They will pay for it. Okay? Paano, Miss Teens, for example, yung napuntahan mong hospital, hindi siya accredited hospital. In other words, the doctors there also are not accredited under your International Private Medical Insurance. Anong mangyayari? No, one of the beauties, no, or the things that I also like about international private medical insurances is that, okay, you can pay out of pocket first. Let's say, eto yung preference mo na hospital. Kasi you believe in the doctors here and you like the facilities, for example. Pero hindi siya accredited under your international private medical insurance. Ang kagandahan ay, pwede kang magbayad muna at pwede mong reimburse, no, with that international private medical insurance. So, wala kang masyadong limit when it comes to the preference, no, that you have for the hospital and the doctors. Okay. So, also, for the HMO, konti lang yung mga HMOs na merong international. I think I only see 1 or 2. Okay? When I say international, ibig sabihin, you got your HMO here in the Philippines and then pumunta ka ng Amerika, okay, magagamit mo pa rin siya. Because usually HMOs that we have here in the Philippines are only local. Okay? For the international private medical insurance, we usually have the local coverage. Okay? It's the more affordable one and the international coverage. Yun yung medyo mahal. Okay? So, yon. So, alright. So, I already mentioned that the HMO usually comes with your employment, no? While the IPMI, you usually buy it individually. Okay. One of the things also that is different, no, when it comes to underwriting of, or acceptance, no? When we say underwriting, yung pag-a-accept ng isang application for HMO or for an international private medical insurance, okay? For the HMO, kapag pinrovide yan ng isang employer, okay? Usually, across the board, everybody will be covered regardless of the pre-existing conditions. Okay? Usually, everybody will be covered. Okay? Whereas, for the international private medical insurance, the underwriting or the acceptance is really individual. Okay? So, there is a long process of application, no? And usually, the insurance company will also be asking you laboratory tests or results for the last 6 months. So, masyado siyang maurirat. But that is also for the purpose of providing the correct coverage to the client. Okay? So, ayan. Another thing that I also wanted to mention is that pag binili natin si HMO individually, parang ang mahal niya. Okay? But if you get this as coverage from your employer, okay, so of course, wala kang gastos doon. Okay? So, nakamura ka. For international private medical insurance, may kamahalan lang siya, especially if you are already in those ages. Okay? Na malapit na yung paglabas ng mga sakit. Okay, so, but relatively, it's still more expensive, no, compared to HMO. Because for the HMO kasi, you can just get it from your employer. Okay? So, yan. Alright, so what else? So, let's go to the availment. Okay? Usually, kapag ikaw ay magpapa-hospitalize, you go to the hospital, masakit ang ulo mo, masakit ang tiyan mo, okay? For the HMO, you just have to present the card. And in my experience, it's very, very smooth. No? A coordinator from the admissions department of the hospital, no, will go to you on your bedside, no, or sometimes no? You could ask your husband, your sister, or your folks, whoever is with you upon that admission, no, to go to the admitting and present the card. And they will already facilitate, no, the calling, no, of that particular HMO, no, whoever is in charge there. Okay. So for the IPMI, no, since it's a relatively new product, okay, actually it began with, no, that when you avail, you, if it's non-emergency, you have to call a certain number and schedule your outpatient consult, for example, okay? And if you are in the hospital already, kunwari you're not able to call, okay, your folks, your husband, your sister, yung anak mo, no, could also call that number. Okay? But they are moving into this practice also wherein hindi na rin masyadong nahihirapan yung holder ng card or yung insured natin dito sa International Private Medical Insurance. But I do not see the smoothness yet, no, in that availment, no, because it's a relatively new product, no, hindi pa ganun ka-smooth yung processes. Okay? So, let's go to the pros and cons. Okay? Ano bang gusto ko sa HMO? Okay? I like that the HMO, if you are working, it is provided by your employer. So, libre siya. So, I like that. Okay? But the cons is, for example, if you only have a coverage of 500,000, of course, you may want to increase your coverage by getting an international private medical insurance. Kasi, pwede ka namang magkaroon ng HMO at pwede ka rin magkaroon ng international private medical insurance from, let's say, a certain company. Okay? Hindi na ako magme-mention ng company. Okay? Pero, kung kayo ay magtatanong, I will answer you in private. Okay? So that's what I like, no? The pros is that it's usually provided for free by your employer. Okay? Another pro, no, is yung health maintenance organizations kasi or HMO, matagal na sila. So when it comes to the claims experience, I could really say smooth claims experience. Kasi ako, ang dami ko ng HMO na nagkaroon ako ng maraming HMO before because of the different companies that I've worked with. Okay? So, it's convenient. Alright? Yung cons is, of course, you only get to be covered generally up to age 65 or the maximum age also of employment. Okay? So, that's one cons there. And another is, kapag binili mo siya individually, hindi mo siya nakuha as a benefit from the company, medyo mahal siya. Okay? So, that's something that is a cons, no? For the HMO. And lastly, hindi siya usually international, it's just local. But, you know, for me, especially if it's given by your company, you know, the fact that you are already covered locally and the claims experience is very smooth, I'm okay with that already. Okay? Okay, let's go to the pros of international private medical insurance. So, number one pro is that you can renew if you have been accepted in the first place. No, you can renew, usually, generally, these kinds of plans, you can renew up to age 99. Okay? So, yan. With the claims experience, I believe it's too early to tell. No? Hindi pa siya ganun ka-smooth. Why too early to tell? Because it's relatively new. No? It's a new product. Okay? So, the smoothness is not yet there, but I think they're getting there as well. Okay? So, yun ang cons doon, no? It's the claims experience na hindi pa natin talaga totally nakita if it's really a smooth claims experience. Okay? So, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. No? Simple questions with simple answers in life insurance. Brought to you by your friend, Tina Sirojales. Please like and subscribe to my page, no? Kung nagustuhan niyo po ang topic natin today. See you again tomorrow. Bye!